folks, and welcome to another Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 best Tom Cruise movies. I am a huge Tom Cruise fan. If you'd have told me this maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, he's alright. He was all over the 90s, right? And I was like, yeah, he's okay. But the more I kept watching his movies, the more I was impressed. Now, my brother's been a Tom Cruise fan for as long as I remember. And he kept saying, oh, Tom Cruise is the man, Tom Cruise is the man. I'm like, Tom Cruise isn't the man. He's okay. But then I started watching a few movies, and I remember what the 2 movies were, and they're not my top 5, so I'm going to discuss them, because they're both very good. I saw Last Samurai, which I remember I did not want to see when it came out. It came out in video, and everyone wanted to rent it, but me. I was like, no, I do not want to see Tom Cruise play a samurai, please, no. And we watched it, I was like, oh, dang, that's pretty good. And then, this is the same week, I remember, then they wanted to rent another movie of his called Collateral. If you don't remember, Collateral had Jamie Foxx in it, and Tom Cruise plays the villain. Well, I didn't care to see that one either. And when I watched it, it was pretty good too. So I was like, oh, well, I guess all Tom Cruise movies are good. And I've been watching, I went through and watched a bunch of his older movies and newer, back then I was watching some of the 90s movies I'd missed. And to be honest, yeah, pretty solid actor. And in my opinion, he's only made one complete and utter dud. And that was sadly one of his most recent ones, The Mummy. The Mummy is just horrendous. It's horrendous. And I mean, I didn't want to see that movie anyway, but because it had Tom Cruise in it, I went ahead and saw it. I was not going to go see that. You put anyone else in that role, well, besides Brendan Fraser, and I'm not going to watch it. However, because it had Tom Cruise, I had to go see it. And I was like, well, it doesn't look that good, but it has Tom Cruise. And for that reason, I need to at least give it a shot. So I gave it a shot, and yeah, it still sucked. It was a terrible movie. But other than that, he's done a lot of good movies. Now, since it's just me, I'm going to go ahead and give you all my honorable mentions first and get those out of the way. First off, he did a musical, Rock of Ages. Don't know if you care about musicals, but if you care about 80s rock music, it's pretty good. Tom Cruise does all his own singing, and it's fun, and he's a great character, Jax, whatever, I can't remember what his name is, but he is a great character, and it is awesome. Now, my wife is a huge Rock of Ages fan, and she wanted to see this when it came out, and I was like, okay, but the only reason I said yes, because Tom Cruise was in it, and of course, Tom Cruise was awesome in it, and I absolutely loved it. So that was the my first experience, I should say, I guess, with Tom Cruise. Knowing that he could do anything, even musicals. He could even make a musical good, which I hadn't seen him, I don't think, do a musical before, so he's got a good voice. Another one, besides Last Samurai and Collateral, that I both thought were good, Jack Reacher. Man, Jack Reacher is a movie out of time, meaning it came out mid-2010s or something like that, and it is a 90s movie. I mean, this movie could have been perfect in the 90s, would have banked him tons of money. It's got the, one-liners, the cheesy action. I say cheesy, but kind of over-the-top action stuff, just like a 90s movie would have. It's weird, and it looks like they were going for that on purpose. They've made 2 of these movies, and the second one was okay. It wasn't as good as the first one. But the Jack Reacher stuff, now I know he kind of wanted to make that his, one of the, like he has for his Mission Impossible series, kind of make those over and over and over again. However, the 2 that he made were fantastic. They were fun. It's, basically just a nice fun romp through old movies nostalgia, if you're into that. And it makes for a lot of fun. Now, I could go through here, and I did think about this, just talking about each and every Tom Cruise movie. That's going to bore you. Oh, there is one. I said there was only one that he was not good in. There's a second one. This is going to shock people. I still don't like Interview with the Vampire. That's one of his most popular ones. I still don't like it. So that I guess there'd be 2 that I don't like with Tom Cruise. I saw some of his old stuff. His old stuff he's not the star in, so it doesn't really count. But Taps was pretty good. He did a good job there. And as a younger kid in some of these, he's done pretty good too. He did one with Paul Newman. I can't remember what it was. I saw that one. It was kind of a little bit boring, but it's cool that he got to work with Paul Newman. So he's been around for a long time, making great movies. Legend is one that maybe people may mention, saying, well, Matt, that wasn't very good either. No, it's not a good movie. It looks really nice, and Tom Cruise does what he can in it. And I know it's supposed to be this great, it's supposed to be an 80s epic classic that turned out to be nothing. I remember my brother, for some reason, absolutely loved Legend. When he was a kid, he watched it all the time. He just thought it was cool. I don't think he realized how sucky it was. And I remember when he got older, he bought the special edition DVD came out, and he went ahead and bought it. He was like, "Oh man, it's got all these new features in the Jerry Goldsmith's soundtrack or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, but the movie sucks. It's not that good, okay? I wouldn't say it sucks. Maybe, I don't know. Tom Cruise's performance is good. How about that?" But I remember my brother absolutely loved it. I wonder if that's still one of his favorite Tom Cruise movies. Probably not. But if you have good memories of it, like I said, it looked pretty good. What was his name? Was the devil? He was pretty good. Tim Curry. So there are some decent acting in it, but other than that, it's not that good of a movie per se. But let's get to the top 5 movies now for Tom Cruise. Now, when I say top 5 movies, I'm talking about his top 5 performances in movies. And in fact, my number 5 was a movie that he is not billed in. In fact, he is not revealed that he is in this movie until the very end. Now, he was in the movie the whole time, but the makeup was so good and his acting was so good that it fooled you, or at least it fooled me back when I first saw it. And that is today's very controversial Tropic Thunder. If you remember Tropic Thunder, it was a Ben Stiller film with Jack Black and a blackface, Robert Downey Jr. It's kind of wild to think this movie is, hardly, I think, 10 years old, but yet today, oh my gosh, people just freak out over it, right? But this is back when the world had a sense of humor, and Robert Downey Jr. and it was a joke, and he was an actor playing blackface, and they kind of made fun of that in the movie, that what does he know about being black and stuff. And so, but like I said, this movie would never get made today. But it's about making a war movie. They're making a war movie. Now, there's a producer in there who's fat, disgusting, balding, hairy chest, and he's just kind of over the top with, how he wants this movie filmed, and he wants it on a budget, and yada, yada, yada. Well, it's revealed at the end of the credits that is Tom Cruise. I was blown away. Because I was enjoying the movie, and I didn't know who the agent was. He was funny, but I could not fathom it'd be Tom Cruise just because the makeup was so good. And at the end, Tom Cruise does the best thing ever. He does a little dance in the fat costume, and it is hilarious. It's fantastic. Again, it's not necessarily a Tom Cruise billed film, right? He's not starring in it. He's not the lead. He wasn't even in the title. They didn't introduce him as Tom Cruise. They kept it to the end because they knew people were not going to believe that was Tom Cruise. I mean, now watching it back over, I can tell it's him. But at the same time, though, watching the movie for the first time, completely fooled. And when they showed who he was as he was dancing, they kind of said, and playing so-and-so, Tom Cruise. My mouth fell open. I was like, no way is that Tom Cruise. And I absolutely loved it, just like a lot of people did. That is just a phenomenal role by him because he did a role where no one, at least I didn't. I remember my friends were fooled too when they saw the movie. They had no idea that was him. And so that he kind of fooled everyone. That just shows what a good actor he is. And I mean, good makeup too, but at the same time, that's really awesome. You gotta understand, I bet he was super happy about that, right? Not get his name in the credits to the very end, and then kind of reveal at the end that, yeah, this was me the whole time. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's actually worth seeing. It's actually a really funny film. And Robert Downey Jr. is in blackface, which is something you'll never, ever see again, even as a joke now. But anyway, that's my number 5. Number 4 is an older film that I remember my brother, still may be, I don't know. I know this would be in my brother's top 5 Tom Cruise films. It was my brother's number 1 film for the longest when it came out. And he got me to watch it. I had no desire to watch this movie. It's called Magnolia. Magnolia is one of those dark comedies, you know, in a way. Like, it's funny, but not. You know, it's supposed to be sad things happening to all these characters, and it's kind of weird. It talks about all these weird things that happened to people in the past, and this is one of those stories. And it's just an interesting story. It's an interesting story. I absolutely love Magnolia. All the characters are just fantastic in it, and the story moves. Is it miserable? Yeah, it's a miserable show because all the people are just so sad and lost or whatever. But Tom Cruise is playing this big womanizer. Like, you know, he knows how to control women and whatnot. And he does motivational series for men to show them how to tame women and stuff. And so, not, you know, kind of a despicable guy is what they've set him up to be. Well, the reason for this is I think he has a strange relationship with his parents. You know, he hates his dad, doesn't care for his mom that much. Well, his dad is dying, and so he has to go back and, you know, see his dad pass away or whatnot. And of course, you know, there's some great scenes in there with him and his dad as his dad's passing away. And I don't know if, I mean, there is some, it's, you know, they're not trying to go for the laughs, but there's some weird, awkward moments that you would laugh at, and some that you wouldn't. But the way he does that character is phenomenal. It's really great. The movie itself is great. I remember this was where the soundtrack was by Amy Mann. She did the entire soundtrack. I bought it. My brother bought it. My brother was a big Amy Mann fan back in the day, so that's another reason why this was ranked high on his list. And I enjoyed it. I remember listening to the soundtrack all the time in my car as a kid. So, I mean, yeah, it was a good movie. Now, on top of being a good movie, it's a fantastic performance by Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise really shines in this movie. And again, I'm going to suggest you watch all these movies, obviously, because I love Tom Cruise. But I believe Magnolia is a fun movie you'll love, too, that has a weird little ending. I don't want to spoil the ending, but the thing is, there is a Bible verse someone holds up on a TV show, and it's a weird Bible verse. And I remember seeing it when I first saw the movie. We were watching on DVD, we rented it, and that Bible verse popped up, and I'd never seen one to John 16, one Philippians 3:12 or whatever. It was just a weird one from Exodus. I was like, wait, what? And of course, when I see that, I have to pause and look it up. So I looked it up, and I said, that does not make any sense. Why is that the Bible verse they're talking about? Well, because of the ending. It basically gives away the ending, which I think is pretty smart, you know, because if you're paying attention, they actually told you what was going to happen in the end based on that little Bible verse. Now anyone who's watching it, you're going to pause and look at that Bible verse, right? When you see the Bible verse, and then you're going to be confused. You're going to be like, I don't understand that. And then at the end, you'll understand. It's still kind of weird, but it's just a fun movie. It's an odd little movie, kind of a dark comedy, Magnolia. All right, so moving on to my number 3. Number 3, in a way, back in the day, was my number 1 for the longest. And I mean, people were just outraged because a lot of people don't like this Tom Cruise movie. And I absolutely loved it. And I rewatched it not too long ago, a couple of years back, because I was like, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't that good of a movie. And I watched it again. I was like, no, I still love the movie. It's a little odd, too. It's got a weird storyline, but it's called Vanilla Sky. Vanilla Sky stars, of course, Tom Cruise. He's a rich, spoiled kid who gets in a wreck. And he's being careless, gets in a wreck. And then his face is completely messed up. So he hates his life. He hates how his life is like now. Now, he's got so many bones broken that reconstructive surgery cannot help him right now. No matter how many times he gets reconstructive surgery, I mean, the surgery he got already is the best they could do. And he's still kind of hideous. And so he gets drunk one night and then decides that he is going to go into this cryogenic freeze storage place where they freeze him, give him nice dreams until, you know, he can wake up one day and they do have the cure to, you know, fix his bone structure permanently and make him whole again. And he's got plenty of money, so he can just freeze himself forever and have nice dreams. And so that's what he does. He goes to the place and then wakes up and he's back at himself again, and everything is new and everything, everything's back to normal for him. He's so happy. But then things start getting out of hand, and his dream turns into a nightmare. Now, later on, we find out what's happening is the machine that's freezing him is messing up. And not to give up too much away, even though I may have given a lot away just then. But the thing is, though, it's an interesting story. And you don't know what's real and what's fake. Is he back in the real world now? Did he truly get fixed? Or is he back in the dream world? You don't know. I don't know. A lot of people were confused when they saw this movie. They didn't get it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Again, watching it a second time, it's still brilliant. It doesn't make my number one this time. Obviously, there's a few movies that are a little bit better now. But Vanilla Sky, still a solid movie. Now that I'm thinking about it, I thought about another honorable mention, Far and Away, with his old wife and everything. That was pretty good. I remember watching that one. That was a good one, too. Now that I just randomly thought about that, and I didn't write that one down. I could write down I should have gone ahead and wrote down every Tom Cruise movie. By the way, you're not going to see Top Gun on here. Nope, I love Top Gun. I think it's a fun movie. It's 80s funny now, because there's so many 80s shots, and, it's kind of a little overboard on the 80s stuff. And I was excited to see, Maverick when it came out, just to see what it would be like. Because if it's Tom Cruise, he's probably going to do it justice. So, but Top Gun, not on my top 5. Only because I think Tom Cruise has just done better movies. Top Gun is a classic, okay? I mean, there wasn't one single kid back in the 80s who didn't want to be, flying an ace pilot like Maverick. But for me, would it ever have made my top 10? Maybe not. I don't think so, because I just think Tom Cruise has done better movies. Not to say it's a bad movie, it's just not the best, And would Maverick had been on this list? Probably not either. I was interested in seeing it, but other than that, I'm not like this big, it's got to be Top Gun or nothing, even though the soundtrack is awesome. But of course, this was the 80s, and the only thing done just as good as the movies back then were probably the soundtracks. So, take it as you want. But anyway, Vanilla Sky, my number 3. Now, my number 2 could be the entire series, but I'll shorten it to just one movie. It's Mission Impossible, by the way. I love every single Mission Impossible. I remember watching the first one in theaters, him throwing the explosive gum on the shark tank or the fish tank or whatever a long time ago, and the whole thing exploding. I remember that, thinking it was really cool. He was, kind of rappelling down on the rope into the secret area with all the lasers everywhere. That was really cool. But Mission Impossible from the very beginning was just a great film. And then it kept getting better. Mission Impossible 2 came out. Man, it is early 2000s, I think, or late 1999. Either way, I mean, it has a bunch of... The funny thing was, wrestling was really big back then. And so they had a bunch of wrestling moves as they fought. Something you won't see today. But this is also the one where they jumped off 2 motorcycles and hit body to body on each other. I mean, it's just kind of really hokey action. But I absolutely loved Mission Impossible 2. I thought it was great. 3 came out mid-2000s, and that was supposed to be it. And 3 was fun. I enjoyed 3. It had Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. So, really awesome. Well, then later on, they decided to say, hey, let's keep going. Let's keep this going. And they went with the next one, the 4th one, which I was just amazed at how good it was. And then the 5th one, which is my favorite one. I believe this is Ghost Protocol. I think it is. I remember number 5 being my absolute favorite, I think. I don't think it was 4, though. Yeah. And I absolutely loved Ghost Protocol, if I'm remembering right. And I just thought that one was just so good. And then the 6th one was really good. And then, have they made 7, I think? 7 of these? Because the 7th one just came out. And it was fun, too, but a step below. Everything since Ghost Protocol has, even though the one right after it was really close. My brother, that one is, I don't know if the newest one's his favorite, though. My brother says that these movies keep getting better each sequel that comes out. I would agree with him up to Ghost Protocol. That may be number 4 now that I think about it. I can't remember, but Either way, though, the Mission Impossible movies as a whole, even the last one, which I thought was a step below, like just about every one, I wasn't really impressed with the last one, the most previous one. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I was like, man, after so many big, heavy hits, you came out with one that was just okay action. Not that everything, well, yeah, everything does have to be better than the last one, in my opinion. I guess so. But it just, the Mission Impossible movies, I will always watch. That is his franchise, Tom Cruise's main franchise. He will always fall back on a Mission Impossible, and I'm so thankful that he will. Um, it was called Rogue something was the fifth one, I remember. And then, so what's the sixth one? I can't remember. But anyway, they've all been fun. They've all been fun. They've all been great. My brother really enjoyed the last one. In fact, the only time me and my brother go to the movies together, the only time we go to the movies together is for Mission Impossible. Because my wife and his wife, they're like, no, we're not interested in any more Mission Impossibles. And so he and I will go together and watch Mission Impossible. And, if they ever do another one, hey, we're going to be there. My brother didn't watch every Tom Cruise film. I mean, he'll see it eventually when they come out. But for me, I am definitely going to go to a Tom Cruise film. He's someone who will bring my butt to the theater. And my butt does not come to the theater that much anymore. I'm not really obviously for the pandemic right now, but I'm just saying before the pandemic. I was someone who really didn't take the time to go out and watch a movie just because it's the new biggest thing, the new blockbuster, the new superhero movie. Unless the missus wants to go see it, I'm fine staying at home and waiting. And in fact, even if she wants to see it, she usually waits a few weeks with me because we want to go when it's not crowded, which now is ever, right? Anyway, for Mission Impossible, that's me and my brother go see those on our own because no one else wants to, at least as far as the misses go. But if you've never seen the Mission Impossibles, I do want to recommend each and every one. I have not watched them more than once. I always said that when he finally wraps up the series, maybe when his character dies, I guess, when Ethan finally dies, I'll watch them all over again. I'm not opposed to watching these over again. I would do that, and there's been times where I've wanted to, but my brother's like, no, I'm not going to watch them all right now. He wants to wait till they, hope, maybe they finish up or anything too. But one day I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch all the Mission Impossibles. They're going to come out on one big DVD collection or whatever, Blu-ray or whatever. And I'm probably going to get them because they're going to have all of them together. And these are things that I would watch again. They're different from the Fast and Furious movies. Fast and Furious I'll watch once, and I know it's not going to be worth watching it again. Mission Impossible, yeah, all day. I'd watch all those again. And I think I would enjoy, I know I would enjoy each and every one. All right, so my number one Tom Cruise movie is, well, Edge of Tomorrow. It's now called Run, Die, Fight, Die, Run, Live, Fight, Die, or something like that. I can't remember. But I actually bought this one too, if I remember. I think it's in my collection because I just love it so much. And I don't have, let me think about this. Do I have any other Tom Cruise? No, I don't. Now, to get in my DVD collection, that means a lot because I don't get that many DVDs, and I only get DVDs if I know that I would want to watch it again, and I don't want to rely on whether it's streaming or not, then I'll go ahead and buy it on DVD. And even though I have sang the praises for all of these films, the only one that I actually bought was, I think it is Live, Die, Repeat, now that I think about it, but it was Edge of Tomorrow. I just had to get that one because it was so stinking good. Imagine, and I've always said this, it's Starship Troopers meets Groundhog's Day is what it is. Now, the Groundhog's Day concept is not, an unknown concept. It's been done in movies a couple of times. I mean, let me see, Happy Birthday to You, the number 2 and the letter U. That kind of horror slasher film where the girl keeps dying over and over again, living the same day. Of course, Groundhog's Day is a classic with Bill Murray, where he wakes up in, I can't remember the town, but anyway, he's there on Groundhog's Day reporting on it, but having the same bad day over and over and over again until he learns a very important lesson. Now, to my mind, that was the first time that concept was ever done, in movies. And ever since then, people have been very creative in their ways of changing up the narrative and retelling the story. Well, this is Tom Cruise's story, and they added a sci-fi flair to it, which I really enjoy. Tom Cruise is a cowardly military guy who's basically a TV personality. He's not really a fighter, and he pisses off the high general, and he gets booted down on the front line, basically to die. They're gonna give him some combat experience, but they know he's not gonna make it. So he's scared to death, and of course he dies right off the bat. And then he wakes up where he was last knocked unconscious during the opening of the film, or close to the opening of the film. And of course he doesn't know what's going on. And there's tons of hilarious moments, but he is trying to figure out how to end the war in one single day, is what they find out. Now, most of the time when these things start happening, the loop in time, it's never really explained. But in Edge of Tomorrow, they do explain what's going on. There happens to be some alien technology or something that impacted him. When he died, he killed a whatever type alien, and that blood got on him, which mixed with his skin or whatever, tied him into this weird contraption that, or had time loop for him. So they do give an explanation this time around, and I think Emily, I'm terrible with names. The girl who's in it is really good. I think it's Blunt, but either way, she's in it, and it is just a great movie. I watched this a couple of times, once in theaters, and then when it came out on DVD, I bought it and watched it a couple of times with anyone who wanted to watch it with me. I still think today it's one of his best movies ever. I heard they were going to do a sequel. I don't know why it would need a sequel, but because I love it so much, I kind of would like to see what they had planned for it. Now, again, everyone says that, right? If a movie's successful, it's going to have a sequel. So how true that is, is up in the air. Your guess is as good as mine. But Edge of Tomorrow, and I don't know why they changed the name, Live, Die, Repeat. I think Live, Die, Repeat is stupid. I mean, yeah, it gives you 3 words that basically tell you what the movie's about. Hooray. But Edge of Tomorrow is just such a cooler name, and you don't need to, hey, this is about a man who lives, he dies, and then repeats the same day. Live, die, repeat. I think I would have hated that name. I don't think that name, I guess they were trying to remarket it because Edge of Tomorrow didn't do as well in theaters, I'm guessing. I don't know. But they remarketed it when it came out in DVD, which I thought was so stupid. Because if you watch Edge of Tomorrow and you see Live, Die, Repeat, you're like, wait, what's going on here? And so are other people like, wait, this didn't come out in theaters. What's Live, Die, Repeat? And then they rent it or, buy it. Either way, I thought it was a little lame, and they could have done better in the marketing. I don't know why. I mean, he came up with another movie. This gets confused with another movie of his, Oblivion. Oblivion's a pretty good film, but not as good as Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow is the one you need to watch. It's just great stuff. If you're a sci-fi fan, even if you don't like Tom Cruise, I think you'll like this movie. The world that they work in is really interesting. So I even love that as well. Let me see. I think that's it. That's all I have to say. Tom Cruise, whatever he makes, I'm going to go see, even if it's yucky stuff like The Mummy. But those are my top 5 favorite Tom Cruise movies. So let me know in the comments, what Tom Cruise movies are your favorites? Do you think that Top Gun Maverick was going to be better than the original Top Gun? If so, let me know why. Are there any other great ones I didn't mention for Tom Cruise movies that you thought were his best? I'd love to hear that too, because you may be right. I'm not going to argue with anyone here, because even if they say, well, Matt, I like some of your honorable mentions. I think, Collateral is one of my favorite movies. Yeah. To be honest, on any given day, maybe I'll rewatch that, and that becomes part of my, top, 5 again. Who knows? But let me know in the comments, folks, and I guess I'll just see you next time on more Saturday morning Samoflange.